All right, continuing to look at rate of change, but now we're going to look at it from a table perspective. So I'm not giving you the function, I've just given you a table of values, and now I want you to calculate it. So I'm going to look at the interval, and I see that I need when x is -1, and that's my x coordinate. So I'm going to go on my table in my x column and find -1, and here is my point. So -1, 8 is that point, and I'm going to go back and say that I need when x is 3. I'm going to come back on my table, and I'm going to see here that that point is 3/16. And now I'm going to calculate that rate of change just like I would. You're welcome to hit pause and come back and check yourself. All right, so let's see what you did. 16 minus 8 over 3 minus -1. And so now I have 8, and then 3 plus 1 is 4, 8 divided by 4 is 2. All right, so I have that rate of change. Now, looking at this second one, what I want you to notice is that I wasn't quite as friendly. So, because that process didn't seem bad to me, hopefully not to you either. So, x is -2. Well, -2 should be right here, and it's not. So let's see what's happening. When the difference from -3 to -1, my y values went up from 4 to 8. Okay, well, I want to split the difference. -1 to -3, -2 is right in the middle. So let's split the difference from 4 to 8, and halfway between them would be, think about it for a minute, 6. So my point is going to be -2, 6. And fortunately, I do have the point where x is 1, 1, 12. All right, so I'm going to calculate that rate of change. Again, so 12 minus 6 over 1 minus -2. So I have 6 over 3, and I get 2. All right, so bonus question. When your rate of change, when you calculate the rate of change over different intervals and the answer is the same, what does that tell you about the function? If my rate of change is constant, that tells me that I have a linear function. Did you get it right? All right, so let's apply some of this knowledge you've learned about rate of change. If f of x has an average rate of change of 6 over one interval and an average rate of change of 6 over another interval, what does that tell you? And we just said that that function is linear. All right, so let's look at this one, multiple choice. Which of the following equations shows the setup to calculate the average rate of change for f of x over the interval x equals 2 to x equals 5? All right, well, some unfriendly person didn't give you the function, and so really here you're just looking for the formula. And if you remember what our formula was, the first formula that I gave you, it was f of x2 minus f of x1 all over x2 minus x1. All right, so I'm going to very quickly get rid of a because f of x doesn't go on the bottom. F of x is y, and we always know that we're going to have y over x. So that eliminates a. What else does that eliminate? Which other answer choice can you get rid of immediately? That's right, C. All right, so now the question becomes, is the answer, A, what did I do? There we go. Is it B or D? And my second f of x, my second x value is 5, and so this was x2, and 2 was x1, so hopefully you selected D, noticing that the major difference between these two was that negative sign, and I am subtracting. Rate of change is a difference. All right, so you're going to determine the average rate of change over the indicated interval. Go ahead and try this one for me and then come back. So hit pause now and work it out. All right, so did you fall for it or did you just tell me an answer? Notice that this is a linear function And if it's linear, the rate of change is slope. You didn't have to deal with those fractions at all. Your rate of change is 2/7. No calculation necessary. No need to deal with those fractions. Determine the average rate of change over this interval. No trick this time. It's exponential. You have to calculate it. Go ahead and give it a try. Hit pause and then come back to me. All right, so f of 1 is 3 to the first plus 2, so that's going to be 3. So my point is going to be 1, 3. And then f of 4 is 3 to the fourth plus 2. 3 to the fourth is 81, plus 2 is 83. So my point is 483. So my average rate of change, plugging into that formula that hopefully you're now very comfortable with, 83 minus 3 over 4 minus 1. So I have 80 over 3. And I can leave it like that depending on what kind of problem you're working on, or you may want to simplify it using your calculator, but this can serve as a final answer.